Hi, I'm Kathryn Hathaway. I'm the money lawyer. I'm based in Tallahassee, Florida, where I've been practicing law for over 30 years. Over 30 years. 30 years of wisdom and fun and knowing lots of wonderful people who've taught me a lot about life and people and solving growth opportunities, we'll call them. I call myself a money lawyer because I do estate planning and help people pass their wealth on to the next generation. I help them preserve their wealth. I also handle probate cases, which is the actual passing on of wealth to the next generation. And I'm a board certified consumer bankruptcy lawyer, which means that I help people release the non-wealth producing things that are getting in their way from becoming the wealthy phoenixes that I believe they are. I was inspired to create Being the Phoenix several years ago because I was seeing a lot of repeat bankruptcy clients among my own clients and thought I really didn't do well enough to help them find their dreams and learn new financial skills. So I created Being the Phoenix to provide inspiration, education, and tools to help people rise from the ashes of financial ruin. Over the years that I've been studying money and how people are with money, one of the most powerful tools I've found is a little book by Wallace D. Wattles called The Science of Getting Rich. It was written in 1910. And the book was first brought to my attention by Nancy Matthews, who's the founder of Women's Prosperity Network. And later I learned that other inspirational financial teachers have also used this tool, including Tasha Powell Chen, Bob Proctor, and Rhonda Byrne, the creator of the movie The Secret, who actually founded that book or that movie on the principles of The Science of Getting Rich. Today I'm going to share just 3 points, 3 of the many points that are available in The Science of Getting Rich, and talk about how we can use these points in practical application of our finances. First of all, you may have heard the words, have you ever noticed that what you think about all of a sudden appears in your system? Every time I've ever bought a car, I think I bought something unique. This last time it was a little red SUV. And now I walk into a parking lot and that's all I see, little red SUVs. And I bet you've had that circumstance too. And you can also use it when you're thinking about something, you see that thing. So if you think about bad things and disasters, they're all over the place. And if you think about good things, you'll see them. This is an actual scientifically proven thing, and it's caused by something called the reticular activating system, or RAS. The reticular activating system is a little bundle of nerves at your brainstem that filter out unnecessary information so the important stuff gets through. So if you want something important, think about it, because your brain will help you find it and show it to you, the reticular activating system. And that's how we turn thoughts into things. The way Wallace Wattles puts it is, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original form permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought held in this substance produces the thing that is held or imaged by the thought. And a person can form things in this thought by impressing his thought on formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. And science has proven that this is true. The reticular activating system helps us see those things that we've created. And you hear Tiger Lily saying, yes, that's true. In my experience, thoughts held persistently in this substance always turn into things. And sometimes I say, dear Lord, what was I thinking? And other times I say, yay, I did that. But it's true. Even in the same office or the same profession, say in my profession, one lawyer says, oh, in August, all my clients go on vacation and take their money with them, and I never have any business. And they don't have any business, trust me. It's just they sit there and wait for the phone to ring. Or you could say, as I have learned to do, in August, my clients are getting ready for the school year. They have things they want to accomplish, and my phone rings off the hook, and I'm booked out 4 weeks, which is about right now. And so I like to affirm that often because I like to see it in my practice. And it helps me make money, support my family, and the other families that are dependent on our business. So in order to create what you want, Wattles says that the first principle of business is to create a clear picture of what you want. And I'm going to start sharing my beautiful PowerPoint. I had so much fun making them. Here they are. There, you know who I am. And it works, doesn't it? The Science of Getting Rich is available on Kindle, but you get the paperback because you're going to want to mark it up. So, as Wallace Wattles says, the first principle is to form a clear and definite mental picture of what you want. And I demonstrated this in probably my most dramatic way. When I first started studying Think and Grow Rich and the Science of Getting Rich, I was 3 months behind on my house mortgage, 3 months behind on my office building mortgage. Income was insufficient to meet our bills. I paid the people, I paid their health insurance, and then prayed that I'd be able to pay something else. And it was really scary. And then Nancy Matthews introduced me to the Science of Getting Rich and to Think and Grow Rich. And I started studying them, looking to come up with better thinking. And one day it dawned on me, the first Monday in March, I'll never forget it, that all I had to do was pick a number. Pick a number. So I didn't want to pick a number out of thin air. I wanted a little bit of backup. So I went through my QuickBooks program and found that 1 month last year, I had earned into our office practice $40,000. And I looked at what we had been making recently, which was nowhere near $40,000, and decided that was the number I was going to pick because it was possible. I knew it was possible because it had been done once. And it was a stretch. It was a real stretch of a goal. So I called up my staff people. I was still studying at home. I called up the staff and I said, okay, guys, we're going to collect $40,000 this month. I want you to hold this number in your thinking. And they made noise about how nuts I was. And they called me back about an hour later to say they'd opened all the mail and we'd already collected $20,000. That had never happened before. And so they said, oh, that's the first 2 weeks of the month. I said, no, it's not. It's the first week of the month, and then we have to apply that to January to help make January even close to $40,000. By the end of the month, we'd collected $60,000 in the month, which made an average for the first 3 months of the year of $40,000 a month. And we continued that right through the end of that year and the next year. And we proved that the first principle, create a clear and definite picture of what you want and hold the vision with faith and gratitude, knowing that the manifestation of your vision is on its way to you. And that's how we looked at it. We didn't think about how, we didn't talk about how. We just held the number. And every time somebody logged in some money or collected a fee, there was, yay, I've done my part, I've done this. We had a lot of fun with it. And it was really a brilliant demonstration. At the end of the second year of that, I said, okay, guys, I'm up in the goal to 50. And this time there was groaning and complaining because it was impossible. But we held the number in mind. And at the end of January, Tara, my paralegal and right arm, came running into my office with a furious look on her face. She says, how do you do this? $52,000. How did we do that? In that year, everybody got a raise. We caught up $25,000 of taxes that were past due from the dark times. And all of the bills were current. And we were very happy and content. We felt good. The second principle is gratitude. Gratitude transforms a have-not into a have, because when you're grateful, you're focusing on what you have. You may remember the Bible story in Matthew, where the master gave 3 servants, one 10 talents of silver, one 5 talents of silver, and the last one gave 1 talent of silver. And then he went away on a trip, and when he came back, the one to whom he'd given 10 had invested it, made money, and said, Master, look, I invested your money and now we have 20 talents of silver. And the master said, good and faithful servant, I've made you master over all of it, and gave him all 20 talents of silver. Likewise, the second person that had 5 talents had invested it and had turned it into 10 talents of silver. And the master let him keep all of his stuff. So then he goes to the third guy. This is just like 3 guys walk into a bar, isn't it? The third guy, he goes to the third servant and says, and what have you done with my money? And the third servant had buried it so that he wouldn't lose it. And he gave it back to the master, and the master said, you lose, you're not getting any money. May have even fired him. Anyway, the verse is, to whoever has, to him more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But who does not have, even what he has shall be taken away. I prefer Billie Holiday's version of that, the wonderful jazz song that she wrote. Them that's got shall have, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. She's right, and she made it much more memorable than the Bible story with their whosoevers and whatsoevers. Now there are 6 ways I'd like to share that we can express gratitude. The first one is open a separate bank account for your business. And if you have 2 businesses, open 2 separate bank accounts. Visualize depositing lots of money in them. Pick a number, one that works for you, and say thank you every time you make a deposit, because you have a business. The second, there it is. The second one is something that Tasha Chen has taught us. Open a profit bank account. We did this in my firm at Tasha's urging, and we deposit 5% of every deposit into the profit account, and we'll do bonuses and out of it every quarter. Pick a percentage that works for you. 5% of your deposit you're not going to miss. So at least 5%. Some people do 10 or 20. Right now we're happy with 5% at my place. Next, you have a business. Pay yourself a paycheck. Every month, take money from your business, say thank you. This is a business, not a hobby. If you're not paying yourself, it's just a hobby, and you need to quit and do something else. Another thing that I have noticed with my particularly bankruptcy clients, which tells you something because they are going bankrupt, they did not claim every penny that came in. It seems to be a very persistent belief that cash doesn't count. Well, if you don't count your cash, how do you expect the universe to count your cash? The universe looks at you not counting your cash and says, well, they didn't notice that money I gave them. I guess I won't give them as much. Deposit every penny in your bank account and say thank you. The next thing that I notice about my bankruptcy clients is that they don't keep records. They bring a paper bag full of receipts to their accountant at the end of the year. I will bet you that those tax returns cost a lot more money to do than ones where you keep good records. I'm a fan of QuickBooks. I think it is just the best and most intuitive way of keeping your business records. You deposit by category so you know what areas of your business are selling and what areas aren't. For instance, Katina might sell more body scrub than she sells lip balm, and she might look at them and say, cost me as much to make lip balm as body scrub, but I make a lot more money on body scrub. Maybe I won't make so many lip balms, or maybe I'll do it less, because she has good records on her computer through QuickBooks and can see what product is paying her and what isn't. If you don't record all of your income and all of your expenses, you don't have an accurate picture. And if you do record all your income and all your expenses, all you have to do is download your QuickBooks, take it to the accountant, and the accountant does a real quick and easy and inexpensive tax return for you. I look at my QuickBooks records in my office to find out where we are 2 or 3 times a week. And I think it's a good idea because every time I look at it, I can say, thank you, universe, for every penny that's come our way. Thank you that I know where it is every minute. And the 6th way of expressing gratitude that we can all put to work right now is pay your bills on time and say thank you to the creditors. Thank you for trusting me to pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, like Wimpy used to say. Thank you for my electricity, my internet, my telephones. Thank you, universe, for the money that comes in and the people who trust me to pay them. The quote that I love from Science of Getting Rich is, gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come. It's the same pathway because the law of giving and receiving is the same energy. And he goes on to say, it will keep you in close harmony with creative thought and prevent you from falling into competitive thought. Now, we haven't talked about this much, and it's kind of another it's another one of the principles of the Science of Getting Rich that I really like, that we as business people are in creative thought. We are creating ways to make money. We're not competing and stealing somebody else's business. And nobody can steal ours because we have a unique way of sharing our gifts with the world. And we don't have to compete with anyone. In fact, I found in my legal practice, I send business to other lawyers all day long, and they send business to me because I can't do all kinds of things. I don't want to. I like the things that I've chosen to do over the years. And Or I have a conflict. The husband came to me and then his ex-wife came and I can't handle it, so I send it to one of my friends who does the kind of service that they need. And people send me business all the time. People come pre-sold when you set up that law of giving and receiving, which is part of the law of gratitude in your business and in sharing business. So don't think of yourself as a competitor with anyone else. You are your own unique self in business, and your right clients and customers will be attracted to you. Leslie went away and came back. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, it works. I love it. The system works. Okay. The third principle. And this is the one that gave me the most trouble, though I found it the most compelling. Give each customer more in use value than you receive from him or her in cash value. And I found this lovely little scale that a house is more useful than money, just cash money, because you can't sleep in it. It won't keep the rain off you. And cash money does not grow in value as fast as a house does. So when you sell someone a house, they give you cash and you give them a house, you've given them more in use value than you receive in cash value. But what other ways? Here's the hard part. A lot of us in business are tempted to give ourselves away. So how can we give more in use value than we take in cash value without going broke? That was the motivating question for me when I was thinking about this webinar. It doesn't mean giving your services away. This is not a hobby, it's a business. It's how you support yourself. And as my father, I think, always used to tell me a proverb, a workman is worthy of his hire, and a workwoman is worthy of her hire too. So we can't give ourselves away in order to give more in use value than cash value. Oh, that was interesting. You shouldn't do that. And it doesn't mean selling yourself cheap to clients who will not benefit from your services, because it really devalues both of you. And in my business, one of the things that I came up with was that if somebody owes, this happened today, $15,000, they make too much money to file a Chapter 7 liquidation bankruptcy, and they're current in their mortgage payment, and they want to file a bankruptcy. Well, the kind of bankruptcy she was eligible for cost, all costs and everything, probably would cost her $6,000. She only owed $15,000. I could not take her money. I couldn't even charge her less and make it worth her while, because she wouldn't really have benefited from my services. So I taught her the roll-up plan and sent her the instructions on how to create that way of paying her own way out of debt, because it wouldn't have been right to take her money, even at a discount, because it wasn't right for her. One of the things that is required in order to give more in use value than you charge in cash value means you need to know the value of your own services. You need to have respect for the expertise and experience that you have developed in your life. And I don't know about you, but somehow or other for years, even after I was board certified in consumer bankruptcy, I still thought of myself as the new kid on the block. That I was, oh, I really don't know all the answers. I don't know enough. Guess what? I knew more than most people. And anytime you have lived and worked in the world for a few years, you really and truly do know more than you think you know. and you are worthy of the fee that you charge. And so I think you need to know the value of your services. You need to set a realistic value, and when you are experienced, you need to set a realistically high value and don't discount them. And then only choose clients who will actually benefit from your services. Turn away the clients that won't benefit. Or you could sell them something that will benefit them. Like, I could not sell a bankruptcy in good conscience, but she was a single mother with 3 children and she really needed an estate plan. So we talked about that. One of the things that Wattles said that I really liked was, when you rise from the competitive to the creative plane, you can scan your business transactions very carefully. Very strictly. And if you're selling any man anything which does not add more to his life than the thing that he gives you in exchange, you can afford to stop it. You don't have to beat anybody in business, and you are in a business, if you are in a business that does beat people, get out of it at once. Do I have any more slides? I didn't even put my end slide in there. There it is. So what I really would like to do is hear from all of you. And we are a good number for a good discussion. And I want to unmute all. I tried to unmute all. Katina, can I unmute you? Oh, you are unmuted.
I'm unmuted, yes.
And Donna?
Mm-hmm.
And Carla's unmuted. And Leslie Warren is back again. And
She was moving back and forth from her phone because she was trying to hear properly.
okay, can you hear us now, Leslie?
Yes,
Awesome, I can hear you too.
thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
So, did anything come up for any of you while we were talking about that, or while I was talking about this? I hate doing the talking head thing. I prefer to have you asking questions in the middle. I have to work on my skill there. So tell me, what do you think? Any of these thoughts resonate for you? Have any questions or thoughts about? I would love to hear more about how to give more in use value than cash value, than you charge in cash value from any of you. Because that's like, to me, the most important thing and needs expansion.
Well, Carla mentioned in the notes about, doing business in integrity. And to me, it has to feel right. If you feel that in order to feel good about what you're doing, you have to give stuff away and you keep giving it away so that you can feel that that people appreciate what you're doing, that operates from a place of lack. If you feel knowledgeable about what you do and what you give to others, you can do it in a natural way that people will receive it and be able to take what you have given them and use it beyond that moment. It's about taking that feeling, that skill, whatever it is that you are giving them, to bring it beyond that moment that it occurs. And to me, when I first started out, I felt like, oh, well, I can't charge that much and I got to give them more than what is really all of that to feel like I'm doing the right thing. And then when you think about it, it comes from a place of lack rather than abundance and rather than love, because you're not loving yourself enough when you reduce what you charge to get and then give more than what the value is that you're receiving. So I think it comes with experience, but it also is about how it feels to you, what that feels like.
And if you value yourself first and focus on the client and give your full attention to them, you are giving good value. you are, I turn away business often, but even when I do that, I still take a look at their situation and give them some way of just talking about it to see what would be, how they could think about it differently.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Katina? You sell things, stuff, and
Yes.
that is, that's a different way, it's a different approach, different way of looking at things.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how I would do that either, but I know that, you know, you sell products that soften people's skin, that are
Right.
healthy, that are vegan. They're vegan. They're probably vegan, but they're certainly organic and natural.
Right.
And I think everybody needs that. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Do you have a set price that you're supposed to sell those things, Katina?
Yes.
Are you given? Yeah.
Yes. I have a set price, and sometimes I do lower the price. Like when I do like Friday night, I just, lowered the price because it was WPN event, but usually it costs more, online.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna, you may not know, Katina makes these products. This is her stuff and her label. I was very impressed.
Wow, that is fantastic, because I loved what you had, the samples of what you had on Friday. That was lovely. Really lovely. Especially the lavender, but I told you that already. I love that lavender.
Thank you.
But when you make your products, you know what it costs you to make each product, right? You divided it out. It's not approximately this or approximately that. You figured out what the cost of all the ingredients are.
Yes.
And then you double or triple that to account for your time. And if you don't use
Right.
Well, adding value to the products also, I think, is the best way to use them, or give more than one option of how to use it in different ways that it can be used. To me, that would be, increasing the value.
That's true. Yes.
It doesn't just smell good. It does have a use. And what are the different things, whether it's for skin conditions, whether it's for whatever it happens to be, Katina, because I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. That would help. And maybe down the road, you might want to consider a little sheet or something that's informational that also has your contact information and everything on there that you can give them.
Yes.
They can buy
Yes.
more.
I thought I heard someone say something.
Yeah, Kathryn's book.
Yeah, I said so they can buy more.
Right.
Nikki has a question. She says, in order to unmute my mic, I would have to quit, and I don't want to do that. Oh, I like that, because I'm an attorney as well, estates and real estate, so I like that answer. Oh, Nikki, type in where you are. That would be very helpful, because we always need to know who.
She's in Kingston.
Kingston, Jamaica. Welcome.
Wow.
Glad. We need to talk some more. Definitely. And I need to come and visit for sure. I just do. Carla is also a lawyer. She, as she puts it, gets your folks out of jail. She does criminal appeals and other appellate work as well, and some lobbying, and is quite brilliant, and I'm glad she's my friend and prayer partner. And Leslie is a personal fitness trainer, and teaches Zumba like nobody's business.
She does.
She does. Oh, Donna teaches Zumba too.
Yeah, not like Leslie.
Not
I can't keep up with Leslie.
So, So, Nikki, do you know us through through our friend Tasha Chen?
Yes.
Yes, she does, through Tasha. So, Leslie, how did you think about that, giving more in use value than cash value?
As it pertains to you and what you do, or just in general?
You, so that we have different points of view
Oh,
in this for people who are listening later.
so as it pertains to me, when I'm teaching, for example, a group fitness class like Zumba, sometimes I'll talk to them about why we're doing a particular move and what it's good for and why you want to take this simple little move out the door into the everyday world with you. For example, there's a little move that you can do with your legs and it helps prevent falling.
Well, good.
Simple thing. You can do it while you're washing the dishes. You can do it while you're sitting at the desk. You can do it anywhere, and it's so simple, but it helps strengthen muscles on the outside and inside of your legs so that if you lose your balance and you start to fall, you can right yourself. Just different ways to teach people how to be more mindful about the way they're moving in their everyday life and how to get more bang out of your buck. If you're moving in class, you can just flail around, or you can put a little more intention into it. And even if you're flailing around, you get more out of that because it's more intentional. So those are ways that I try to give people more in use value than what they're paying when they come to the gym to take a Zumba class.
Great.
Did I answer your question?
You did. That was a
Okay.
very good illustration, didn't you think? Of
Mhm.
how to add value. And it doesn't cost you any more to do it, but you're giving more value. Some of the things I do, like I have handouts for my initial bankruptcy clients that I give them. I have, of course, my best-selling book, Rise Like a Phoenix, The 12 Steps of Bankruptcy, and I give every new client a copy of that. It costs me $2 to print it, but it has a lot of value as far as seeing bankruptcy as a personal growth opportunity.
Yes.
And how to apply the steps, the 12 steps of AA to any growth opportunity you're faced with.
Mhm.
And that, I don't charge extra for that. I also don't charge extra for prayer. Sometimes that's all you can do for folks. And I have copies of Linda Fostek's book for estate planning clients. Now What's Next? For people who've lost a spouse and need some direction. And those books didn't cost me much to buy, but it's a benefit to the client. So that's another way that I add value. And I think it's easier to talk about adding value than it is to give more in use value than cash value. Is there a reason for that?
I think it means the same. It's probably just the semantics are more clear.
Yeah. Or more clear to us today than
Yes.
than in 1910.
Right.
Does anybody have any questions or thoughts about any of this? How do you use gratitude in your business? Do you keep separate bank accounts for your businesses and say thank you for everything you deposit?
Actually, I've started recently thanking my creditors and paying the bills. And I find that even if I have to rob Peter to pay Paul, it still feels much, much better. And in my mind and in my heart, I believe that I'm creating the opening to receive more because I'm being more grateful for what I have, even if it doesn't go all the way to cover everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know it's true.
The flow. Having the flow.
Yes. Thanks, Donna. Was that you, Donna?
That was me.
Thanks, Donna.
You're welcome.
What about you, Katina? Have you opened a separate bank account for your business yet?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes.
And how long have you been in business?
It's just been a little over a year.
Well, good. You started off on the right foot.
Yes.
And oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that was probably one of the first things I did.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
There we go. Yeah.
I think that's one way. Oh, Lori Hunter's reading. Hi, Lori Hunter. You can unmute yourself. Where'd you go?
Nikki had some good comments.
Oh, good.
When you have chance.
Okay. Nikki says she's going to open a profit account and pay herself first. That's definitely something she's missed. There's a lot of fluff around people talking about business and telling people, oh, you need to invest everything back in the business. I'm sorry, that's not a business, it's a hobby. And we're not hobbyists. We are in business, and we are there to make money to support our lives. Period. I have a hard time with nonprofits too, but that's a different story. Just the word nonprofit means you don't think you're running a business, and you are running a business.
Right.
So I don't think anybody should be in a not-for-profit business unless they are applying for grants, that's the only way to get them, to have somebody support the fact that you're giving services to people who can't pay for them. Lori, I'm so glad you joined us. Would you unmute yourself and say hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
You're here.
I am. And I'm so
That's
happy to
good.
be here.
So you missed the whole presentation. You have no idea what I was talking about because, of course, you've never heard of the science of getting rich. You've never heard of those principles. The ones that we were talking about were, what were they?
Give more in use value than in cash value.
That's what we're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second
Okay.
one was gratitude, and how gratitude opens the channels of more stuff to be grateful for. And the first one was hold a clear and definite vision of what you want. And I share my experience of just holding a number in my thinking and sharing it and enlisting my staff to hold that number and how we created that number.
Nikki had a question because she wanted to know if the profit account was different from the pay yourself first.
Yes, Nikki, it is different. You pay yourself a paycheck out of your business, and you also put the first 5% of every single deposit in a profit account. And according to Tasha and Diane, then quarterly, you look at that money, you take half of the profit money out, and you go play with it and leave the rest in the account. And I would think that it would help you if you added, as you were adding profit money, that you thought about what fun thing you were going to do with it. You're going to go to a motel at the beach, or buy a ballroom dancing lesson, or something fun. But paying yourself first is paying yourself a paycheck, because you need to make sure that your business expenses are not so high that the money that you're bringing in allows you to give yourself a paycheck.
Do you have a formula for working that out, Kathryn?
Ooh, good question.
It is a great question, but I think it's different for everybody. I have three other staff people that I pay. And of course I pay them before I pay myself, because I'm the business owner and I'm supposed to stand back and make sure everybody's got what they need. But I pay myself a paycheck every pay period. And I pay myself pretty well now. Not as well as maybe the average lawyer doing what I do, but better than I paid myself before. And so I'm paying myself about 25% of what the business brings in. And then the staff gets the next 33%. And then we pay health insurance. I pay all the health insurance, and I pay 3% in addition to matching in their retirement. I know that's not much, but at least they have a retirement.
Mhm.
And I think you need to pay yourself a healthy amount of money so you feel like you're in business. Otherwise, you feel like you're a volunteer. And the good thing about volunteers and the bad thing about volunteers is you cannot fire them. If you've ever been in charge of church volunteers, you know that's true.
Evidently, Leslie has, because
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
I think 25% when you have other people you have to pay in your law office is probably a pretty good number. And if you are your only staff person, pay yourself 50% of what comes in the door. And make sure that your other business expenses are in proportion so that you can afford to do that. One of the things that I learned was I may live with some credit, but I don't run my business on credit. We have a credit card that we use for filing fees and purchases and stuff, and we pay it off every month so that I'm never in the position of, oh my God, I can't pay this. It's just that one credit card. And actually, there have been months where we say, oh my God, the Amex, but it gets paid.
Now, the other thing that Nikki asked was about investment. You know, she was concerned about investing. But the portion that you take out of the profit account, that fun thing that you can do for yourself is investing in your future. So it doesn't have to necessarily take that motel at the beach. It can be talking to a financial advisor or doing whatever it is, setting up a retirement plan, setting up whatever for yourself as the business owner. So it doesn't, you know, it can be whatever is going to give you joy, and creating a legacy for yourself so that you don't have to worry about your future can be one of those things.
Okay.
And I do put, I'm older now, and I do put a total of 10% in my retirement every month and try to ignore it so that so I'm putting something in retirement. I will still be working till I'm 80, 85, unless things change. But I think investing in your future is really important. But the profit account is the fun account. That's not money I'm going to use to pay bills. That's money.
No, but investing in your future is still a good thing.
Yes. Has anybody tried my game with the number goal? Picking a number and saying, this month I'm going to collect X amount of dollars, and every month after that.
I'd actually like to try that right now with Tasha's manifesting event that starts on Monday.
Yes.
I started the Science of Getting Rich again yesterday, so I could kind of be in that space during the manifesting challenge. I've been thinking about that, so it was great to have this workshop because I do want to declare a number and you know, enjoy the energy and the positivity from that 5-day challenge to hopefully kickstart it.
Mhm.
Had a girl. Had a girl.
So I actually did think about that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Do it, ladies. Do it. Let's use that energy.
Yeah. I challenge you, Nikki, in your law practice to pick a number. And I don't know whether QuickBooks is set up for the Jamaican currency or not, but there must be some bookkeeping system that is used by businesses in Jamaica where you can keep that record and your deposits and deposit every single penny you make in the account. Say hallelujah, hallelujah. Sorry.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Okay. And track it absolutely. And pick a number that's a stretch. I was kind of chicken because I picked a number I had done before. But pick a number that's a stretch and say, or something better. And I'm doing that again. I've found that if I take my eye off the goal, if I stop thinking about that, if I start worrying about what somebody else in my business is or isn't doing, or if I'm more worried about what they're collecting than what I'm collecting, the numbers go down. You have to keep the eye on your prize all the time. It's your production and your giving of service and being paid, well paid for it. That matters. And I have taken my eye off the other person and I'm back on my own stuff and new clients every day. And I did a seminar at one of our adult facilities in Tallahassee here, Nikki, and this may be something you can do. I did a seminar about estate planning and the importance of estate planning, and the phone was ringing off the hook before I got back. And unfortunately, they seem to have thought that I was giving away free consultations. I've just done all the free I was going to do. And Tara was saying, you know, we have an initial consultation fee and it's X. What? I don't know what they were thinking. So we'll see how much money this turns into. But it stirs up business for me every year when I do that. And that might be a good thing for you to do, Nikki, in Kingston. I'm sure they have retirement homes and nursing homes with families who are paying for those services, who need some kind of an estate plan. Carla did one, did a talk at, I forgot the name of the club, just did one last week and made lots of good contacts. And that's what we need to do. Donna's doing a talk like that for brand builders. Oh, you did it at Appellate Advocacy, Carla. Thank you. Donna's going to do one for the Brand Builders Club. And Leslie does demos at assisted living facilities.
Yeah.
And has a client, the city of Tallahassee, still a client?
Yep.
And you're doing classes with them?
Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Katina shows her wares at WPN events and any other event that she can get out to, because letting people know you're there and what you do and how you can serve them adds value to their lives. Lori Hunter has a number of businesses. She's a multiple serial entrepreneur. Right, Lori?
Multipreneur.
Multipreneur.
Multipreneur. I love it.
Yes.
And her business is to do follow-up phone calls for people. So she might be able to help Carla Ellis with her follow-up phone calls from her program that she did last week. Or she might be able to help me with follow-up phone calls for estate planning clients that have called. That's your vibrator? Sorry. It was time for a laugh.
Yes.
Well, I've really enjoyed our conversations. Anybody have any other thoughts that they want to share, or questions they want to ask? Because if I can't answer them, we have many brilliant, beautiful women here who can help.
No, but I am going to set an amount for, and I'm doing the money attraction challenge as well. So I am definitely going to push myself and set an amount for every month and look forward to it coming to fruition.
And I love the, and I really want to point out the exercise that Tasha had us do the other day about coming up with how you could make $250,000.
Yeah, that was good.
Challenge. It's not about how, but it's to prove to yourself that there are avenues and it's possible. And she said that when she and Diane played that game with each other, that they did not ever do that business or that way of making money, but it opened up their eyes to the possibility of bringing in the money. And so I commend that exercise before we start the
Challenge next week.
And where do I find this exercise? Because I don't remember this.
It was on the Monday, her manifesting Monday, wasn't it?
When she was on there with Diane? I don't remember that. Okay.
I think it was a week or two.
The week before, right. It was before that.
Oh, before that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do think I missed that. So, okay, I'll go back to that one and listen.
Nikki said the week before.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Yes, I will go and look it up.
Library. Thank you. So you all have your assignments. You don't have to tell me what the number is, but write it in your journal. Big, colorful numbers. And remember, the how is not your business. I used to have a friend who says, Kathryn, that's management's problem. Your leader. Just do as instructed. So the how is God's problem, management's problem. And I wish you all very well. I'm so glad that you came out on a Wednesday night. There are so many other things we could have done. And I think we had a good conversation to add value for the people who listen to the recording.
Thank you, Kathryn. This was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
I don't know how I make this available to you all, but I'll find a way.
Well, you should get because you have the paid version to have this long. So in your email, you'll get a link that you can share with us.
Okay, I will do that.
You'll get a link.
And I'll share the link with everybody who signed up.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to put up my sign so that everybody can see who I am, where they can reach me. And please reach out to me. I'm excited to have shared these ideas with you and have had such great feedback and conversation.
And it was wonderful having Nikki on here.
Yes, Nikki, I'm so glad to get to know a fellow lawyer in Jamaica. Awesome. So, good night. And what is the date?
Now, you may want to, there is also a way for you to save the chat. So just check on there because you may want to save that.
I do.
The professional Donna Tornillo.
Yeah, but now I can't find it on mine because I'm not the host. But it's, I can find it when I'm the host. But
There it is.
you see it? Yeah, you'll want to save that.
I did.
Okay, good. And then in your email, you'll get the link that you can share.
And I will. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good night.
My
Good night.
foray into this kind of stuff. I love y'all. Take care.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
It's like the Phoenix
Bye.
Sisters are.